Hello, everybody. The topic I'll be presenting to you today is schizoposting, which is a genre of meme about schizophrenia. Basically, these memes are either jokes about schizophrenia based off of pop culture conceptions of schizophrenia, but not only that, they also take, I guess, aesthetics of violence or very harsh editing techniques to create imagery, which I guess is indicative of schizophrenia. Um, I would hardly say that these are solely about schizophrenia truly, but I guess more about mental health. But the online word for it would be schizoposting. So, how did I get interested in my topic, and why do I think it matters? Well, as someone who uses social media a lot, is online. At one point, I think during 2020, there was a time where basically my entire TikTok feed was these schizo posts. And so obviously that came to my mind pretty much immediately as I started taking this class. So that's what I'm doing my final presentation on. Um, I've always thought that the internet and mental health are a very interesting topic combined. As seen before, even in other like projects that have happened in this class about online forums and anorexia, or kind of the earlier on the internet, sort of the popularization about talking about depression and anxiety and how they created visibility, but also ended up kind of perpetuating negative like thought processes about depression and anxiety. So, I think schizoposting is very interesting because unlike a very common mental illness like depression and anxiety, schizophrenia is not so. So for it to become a mainstream mental health topic, I think is really quite interesting. Something that I noticed about these memes is that they are being often posted by men, and when looking in the comment sections or who are watching these seem to be men as well. So I was kind of interested in taking a look at dissecting schizo posts and I guess masculinity and why that there seems to be some connection between these two. So the argument that I ended up making. So really what I was trying to look at is what makes these memes funny or relatable, why are they here, and why are they being seen in masculine spaces or being created by men? Like is schizophrenia just that much more funny to men? What's the deal? So the argument I ended up making are that these schizo posts use schizophrenia or the format of schizoposts memes to reveal social issues that men face in society, subconsciously critiquing masculinity by comparing it to the ills of schizophrenia. Um, so, how did I go about trying to prove this? So, my evidence would be would be both. Sorry, let me say both. These memes, specifically, I would look at Instagram posts for this because that's kind of what the social media that I have available to me. And then comparing it to scholarly articles that take a look at current sociological trends and see how putting these memes into context can add extra meaning to them. Um, Here we can see a meme which shows a guy at a gym, and it's me and my friends when we're taking our medication. We're going to see who will disappear. Man, that's a pretty standard example. And other here is sex differences and loneliness, the role of masculinity and femininity. These are both kind of just, I think, good examples of the two types of sources that I use. So, looking at what argument I expected to make, uh, well, the thing is, I didn't really know what argument I expected to make. And so, it was just, what are even these memes about? That's what I was trying to figure out for myself. And how do I take meaning from these memes? So, really, I had kind of two thought processes going. The first one was, do I take them seriously? Do I try to like solely argue these underlying themes that I think I'm finding in these memes. And while that might be interesting, I feel like that's just really hard to do accurately and academically because that comes with a lot of like context and making things up. Not even making things up, but yeah, you know what I mean. It wouldn't be very academic. So taking them in the original context as jokes and really just kind of breaking down what's in them to analyze them on their own terms, I thought was a much better way of arguing this. Um, so instead of kind of looking at the social ills that I think these memes see, it's more arguing about like how social ills can be seen within the memes. Um, so when looking at sources, one part, one thing that the professor here recommended for me to do as I'm talking about memes, and specifically, new memes, which really don't have much scholarly written about them at all, was to find a source that is about memes, but not about my exact topic, whereas I can use um, where I can use kind of the format or the way that they build their argument to help me. So one source that I ended up finding that was really interesting was analysis of the use of memes as an exponent of collective coping during COVID-19 in Puerto Rico. So basically, this ended up being very useful in writing, especially the introduction of my essay, as it kind of really helped me know how to start it, how to describe memes, how to tell people what exactly I'm doing, which is, I think, the most important thing. Even though it's not about my topic, though, I found it very interesting as this article took a look at how memes were used as a form of humor for levity, a sort of catharsis, letting out angry emotions about the COVID pandemic, and kind of as like news sharing, which I thought was very interesting. And finally, two memorable things about my project. So I think the first memorable thing uh, would just kind of be the memes themselves. Um, I find that they are equally hopeful and disturbing. Um, where I think it is a hopeful thing that people who maybe weren't talking about mental health before are, but also kind of disturbing because the way that they're doing this is almost in a meaningless, mocking way. As you can see the meme here in the slide, um, it is in a joke format, but in the punchline, but the punchline is like dark. It seems hopeless. It's pretty depressing, honestly. And I guess the other memorable thing was that this project was challenging. Memes are often pretty devoid of a deeper meaning, so kind of figuring out a way to put them in context with current trends to find a meaning in them was pretty interesting. Thank you. This is my little presentation about my topic.